It's Wednesday, January 28th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, the ongoing battle over bike lanes is heating up at Halifax Regional Council again. We'll have the details just ahead in your top news headlines.
And be a Valentine to the senior. We'll chat with We Are Young about their popular annual campaign and find out how you can get involved. That's in our second hour.
Plus, oh my aching back. There are probably a lot of folks in the region wishing they had better snow shoveling form over the past few days. We'll get tips from our friends at Zoomers that could save your muscles this winter season. All that and more coming up on the Wednesday edition of CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
This Wednesday, January 28th. So much accomplished so far, ladies. We're midway week through the week already.
Unbelievable.
Midway through the last week of January.
I know you said that earlier, and I was like, it is not.
Yeah,
it is.
I am so excited about that. January, I do feel, is a long month.
It can be, and this one especially too when we have storm system after storm system. So a lot of kids heading back to school today, finally.
A nice Monday, masking as a Wednesday for them.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit of a short week. I did actually get into the shoveling myself.
Did you?
Mostly light and fluffy is my shoveling report. However, when I got near the street, it had become kind of wet, and my goodness, it was like so heavy. Anyway, later on we're going to talk about form because I don't think I was using good form.
You're like, anything. Get out.
No. So we can all save our backs in a bit later. But the weather has been the big story this week. It's impacting the news. What's today's forecast?
Today's actually not so bad. So we are going to see some flurries in western parts of Nova Scotia. However, we're pretty much going to see some sunshine across the region.
Wow.
Still a little bit of that storm impacting into parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, but not terrible for today. As we take a look here at Lunenburg, pretty still to start the morning. So we will see some sunshine popping through, which is always good news. And yes, some light fluffy flurries coming through a little bit later in the afternoon for certain parts of the region. But as we start our day, it is chilly out there. So do take that into consideration. We're looking at minus 25 right now in Edmundston, minus 16 in Fredericton, minus 11 in Sydney. We're looking at minus 21 in Labrador City, and we also have some wind chill factors as well. So taking that into consideration and that frostbite concern, just make sure you are bundling up because as of 8 a.m., this is what the temperatures are going to feel like. So just make sure you are bundling up if you're going out and about today, especially if you're heading off to school. Again, same thing goes over in Newfoundland and Labrador, especially chilly still in Labrador City. So we only have one yellow alert to talk about this morning. That's what I said in Newfoundland, or in Labrador rather. We are seeing that winter storm continuing through today, mostly hanging around in the Nain area. For today, we'll see an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow with northwesterly winds gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour. Could cause some problems with traffic if you are in that area. Just make sure you're taking that into consideration as you head onto the road. But I'll have a full look at that forecast coming up in just a bit. For now, let's head over to Amanda for your first look at local news headlines.
Thank you so much, Brianne. The ongoing battle over bike lanes is heating up at Halifax Regional Council again. In an evening news release, Mayor Andy Fillmore said last night the latest cost estimate for HRM's cycling network has ballooned to $85 million from the original $25 million. Fillmore says he can't support the current plan because of the price tag, especially in economically challenging times. He is urging the city to examine lower cost alternatives as other cities have done. In the past, some councillors have argued for forging ahead with the plan, noting a sizable number of routes are already complete, and encouraging active transportation has been a council priority since 2014. Proponents have also suggested it will help traffic by cutting the number of cars on the road. Police in St. John are investigating offenses of a sexual nature with at least a dozen victims between their 70s and 90s at a local nursing home. A memo from Loch Lomond Villa was sent to the families of residents on Friday saying the administration had become aware of a serious situation at the village that had become a police investigation. Police say they have identified a suspect, but so far no charges have been announced. Police add the suspect is not a resident nor a staff member.
And we're talking about people that are vulnerable, that basically are not able to speak for themselves. And it's so sad when these kinds of things happen. I'm really pleased that the home did reveal or make it open, because I'm a firm believer that if it had gone directly to social development, I don't think we'd know as much as we know today.
In a statement, Loch Lomond Villa CEO Ashley King said existing safety protocols remain in place and additional measures have been implemented, including the presence of an on-site security company. Police say a dedicated phone line has also been established for the families of affected residents. A key witness for the prosecution took the stand at the Jansen Baker double murder trial in Moncton. Zachary Travers told the court he drove Baker, a longtime friend, to a neighborhood in Dieppe on September 7th, 2019. The same day, Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier were shot to death in their home. Travers says he went as far as the sunroom at the house, but left. He testified he saw Baker pointing his hands in the air and yelling before he heard a scream and 2 bangs. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. You'll be paying more for diesel in Nova Scotia this morning after the interrupter clause was invoked overnight. Diesel increased by 6.7 cents a litre. The minimum price in the Halifax area, Zone 1, is now $1.74. The Nova Scotia Auditor General says public reporting on the provincial health system needs improvement so taxpayers can see if their multi-billion-dollar investment is paying off. In her new report, Kim Adair says changes are needed to how the province reports data on the health system. The provincial government's 2022 health plan promised to provide regular progress reports on topics like access to primary care and long-term care, the numbers of doctors and nurses in the province, and others. Adair's report identified issues in the province's reporting on ER wait times and the number of patients who leave emergency rooms without being seen. The health department says the latter especially can be misleading because some patients receive care virtually or are directed elsewhere. A popular brand of baby biscuits are being recalled. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says Gerber brand Arrowroot biscuits are being recalled due to the possible presence of pieces of soft plastic and paper. The cookies were sold across the country. The agency says the biscuits should not be consumed, distributed, or sold. They should be thrown out or returned to the store where they were purchased. Finally, some good news this morning. After 2 days of weather-related disruptions, flights have resumed at the region's largest airport. Runways at Halifax Stanfield were closed for 3.5 hours Tuesday morning, and the facility called in double the number of winter operations staff. Still, it was an uphill battle.
What the crews are actually battling today is that drifting, blowing snow that's already on the airfield.
I actually left my suitcase at home with my passport, so this gives time for someone to rush my passport over, so I'm not that upset.
Well, it worked out for passenger Michelle. An estimated 2/3 of the 120 scheduled flights to the airport were canceled on Monday. Flights started moving just before the noon hour on Tuesday. So good news for anyone who has to be traveling midweek. Today or later in the week. We'll see what Sunday has in store.
Oh, don't even talk
That's
about
another
that
story.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
No, we're not there
Although we did see 26 centimeters of accumulated snow at the airport.
Wow.
Days. So not as much as Sluice Point. They got 41.9 centimeters.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Could be worse.
It was a
Could always
lot.
be worse.
And it just kept falling and falling and falling. Yeah, oh yeah, that's our control room. Vicky in the control room says if you're watching from, what's the community again?
Sluice Point.
Sluice Point? You're watching from Sluice Point, send us some photos. We'd love to see you blanketed in snow. All right, next month, February, we're almost there, but it's Black Heritage Month in Nova Scotia, and the official kickoff has taken place.
We will now proceed to the official unveiling of the African Heritage Month 2026 poster. I would like to invite his
Yes, that's CTV's Vanessa Wright. She emceed the official launch at the Black Cultural Centre for Nova Scotia in Cherry Brook. Community leaders, government officials, and many others were on hand for the unveiling of this year's official poster, and the theme, Strength and Unity, moving forward with purpose, prosperity, power, and progress.
Well, February is African Heritage Month, and today was a wonderful day to kick it off. This year's theme, Strength and Unity, is a powerful theme that speaks to the unity of the African Nova Scotia community that has had a presence in this province for well over 400 years.
Friend of the show, Russell Gross, speaking there from the Black Cultural Centre. Special events and workshops are scheduled throughout the month of February. For a full list, check out their website. We put a link on ours, and we'll highlight as many events as we can on our show.
Love that. Russell is such a wonderful member of the community here in Nova Scotia. He does so much. And I mean, a reminder too, the Black Cultural Centre open year-round as well.
It's really a neat place to visit.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful displays, and you can learn a lot just by popping in and checking out many of the interpretive displays they've got in that place.
True. Okay, still ahead, we're going to have your first look at your national and international news headlines on this Wednesday morning, and Brienne has a first full look at the forecast. Much calmer conditions than we've seen over the last few days, but look how picture perfect it is for an ice skate in downtown Fredericton. What do you think? Embrace this season, right?
Yes.
The forecast is coming up next.
Good morning, St. John's. It is 6:43, 6:13 if you are in the Maritimes and parts of Labrador, and it's a little calm to start the day, but it is a little bit chilly as well. We are seeing some impacts from wind chill factors this morning, but pretty much a calmer start to the day, especially since yesterday. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. And as we take a look here at our current temperatures, a little bit colder to start up in northern parts of New Brunswick as well as over in Labrador. While it's not terrible conditions over in St. John's, we are still seeing that wind chill factor, like I said. But first, we have one last yellow alert to talk about. So we do have that winter storm still in effect from Nain to Hopewell for today. We are going to see those totals between 15 and 25 centimeters after an additional 5 to 15 centimeters this morning, and we are seeing those northwesterly winds gusting from 60 to 80 kilometers per hour. So if you do have to get out and about today, just make sure you are taking that into consideration, because again, we are still seeing the impacts from that nor'easter that has been coming through the area. So as we take a look at our forecasted timeline, a few scattered flurries through parts of western Nova Scotia for today. The majority of that system, however, staying up in Newfoundland and Labrador as we head into Wednesday afternoon and night. We will see clearer conditions coming through. Again, we could see some of that system pushing into northern parts of New Brunswick for Thursday morning. However, not terrible conditions as we head throughout the day. Now, we are going to see those wind chill factors lessen as we head throughout the morning. So it is going to be a colder start to the day, but then that wind chill does come down a little bit. Still, bundle up if you are going out, because it's still going to be cold out there. So while we won't see as much of an impact for frostbite later on into the day, we are still going to be experiencing those colder temperatures, those wind chill values, making things feel colder than what those numbers are saying. As we take a look here at the snowfall for the next 24 hours, again, just trace amounts mostly in western parts of Nova Scotia, a little bit over in parts of Cape Breton as well. And then, of course, the majority of that staying over in Newfoundland and Labrador. As we take a look at wind gusts, they start to pick up a little bit into the afternoon before they taper down as we head into the evening. So we are going to be contending with a little bit of gusting winds throughout the course of this afternoon and into the evening, but things get a little bit better as we head on through our day. But now let's take a look at our national and international headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Brienne. Harsh winter weather is taking a toll on the supply chain in Newfoundland and Labrador. Cancelled ferry crossings mean empty store shelves, among other problems. CTV's Garrett Berry has the details.
Some barren shelves at Urban Market 1919 in St. John's, and some of the products that are arriving far too late.
We've actually, since the start of January, have received over $2,000 of wasted foliage and stems. And that's a massive cost.
It's hard to keep the shelves full this month. There are today more than 200 commercial transport trucks trying to get goods onto the island, backed up at the ferry terminal in Nova Scotia. Storms and high winds have repeatedly canceled Marine Atlantic ferry crossings.
It's very unusual that we've seen such poor weather for such an extended period of time.
Marine Atlantic says it has the capacity to clear up that backlog quickly if the weather would start to cooperate.
CTV's Garrett Berry reporting in St. John's. Prime Minister Mark Carney had a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump this week, but it appears the two have different versions about how that went down. CTV's Mike LeCouture has the details.
I meant what I said in Davos.
Prime Minister Mark Carney stood by his speech during a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. The 30-minute conversation covered Arctic security, Venezuela, and Canada's agreement with China.
I explained to him what we're doing, 12 new deals on 4 continents in 6 months. He was impressed. And what we intend to do going forward, as well as the opportunity to, of course, move forward on CUSMA.
Let's talk about the Prime Minister, or if you prefer, Governor of Canada.
12 hours earlier, the U.S. Treasury Secretary says he was on that call and characterized the conversation differently.
He spoke to Prime Minister Carney, who was very aggressively walking back some of the unfortunate remarks he made at Davos.
Asked specifically about that.
So you didn't walk back your comments?
No.
But there was no public readout of the conversation between Trump and Carney, something the Conservatives are criticizing. Michael Chong wrote on social media, "It is unacceptable that Canadians and journalists learned of this recent call from American media." Besson's comments come days after Trump threatened to impose 100% tariffs on Canada if the government signs a free trade agreement with China, something Carney says he's not pursuing. Political analysts believe the current strategy is to keep calm.
Trump is going to make noise. He's going to flash. He's going to swear. He's going to stamp his feet. Just take a breath, take a moment. Chances are the storm will pass, and it has.
The Prime Minister says he reiterated in his conversation with the President that Canada is responding to the change in U.S. trade policy by building new partnerships abroad, including with China. And Carney says Trump understood that. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Out west, parents in Alberta are outraged and searching for answers after 30 children fell ill at a hotel swimming pool.
People just start running out of the pool, and kids are puking in the hallway, and people inside are yelling, "Get out, get out."
Paramedics arrived to assess 30 children, mostly from a minor hockey team. 11 ended up in hospital complaining of throat, back, and chest pain. The town discovered elevated levels of a chlorine-based substance during initial air testing. CTV News pulled public inspection records that showed repeated violations for high chlorine levels in the pool. The hotel says it can't comment on the inspection reports during an ongoing investigation. The 55th Annual Juno Awards will be held in Hamilton, Ontario next month. And we now know who is in the running for Canada's top music prize. CTV's Andrea Case breaks down the nominees.
Do backflips.
He may have first caught our attention when Kamloops, BC's Cameron Whitcomb auditioned on American Idol, but now he is a Juno nominee. Yep, he is no quitter. The first-time nominee heard his name 5 times this morning, including for Breakthrough Artist of the Year and TD Fan Choice Award, as well as Country Album of the Year. But leading the pack, Justin Bieber is an 8-time Juno winner already, but never has he had 6 Juno nominations in 1 year. Hold on, hold on. His single Daisies is up for Single of the Year off the album Swag 2. He will also vie for Artist of the Year. Could Tate McRae be any hotter? The former Calgary-born dancer tied the Biebs with 6 nominations. Best Single, Sports Car kicked off her Album of the Year contender, So Close to What. Daniel Caesar already has been announced as a performer, and he may pick up a Juno this year. He is nominated for 4 trophies, as is The Weeknd. The Junos will be hosted by comedian, actor, and singer Mae Martin from the TD Coliseum in Hamilton on March 29th. Andrea Case, CTV News.
Some great artists there. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we will have your top business headlines and your must-see moment from our colleagues over at TSN. We'll be right back. So stick around.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
That's a sad day.
I know. I was like, that's not really what I want to.
Beautiful image of the Blue Nose, though.
Gorgeous.
That might be the very picture they used for the dime.
There you go.
All right, it's 6:26 and time now to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we head to Montreal, where the Canadians were hosting the Golden Knights. Habs on the power play in OT. Cole Caulfield shot stop. Yuri Slafkovsky robbed. Akira Schmid. Check this out. He's got the glove ready to save the game, and it delivers, sending Slafkovsky into a state of awe.
With the glove hand.
Can't believe what he just witnessed. What was it? Our must-see moment. That's what it was. Tonight on TSN, we've got a P-Dub doubleheader for you. The Toronto Scepter is facing the Montreal Victoire, and then it's the Vancouver Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Frost. Coverage gets underway at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Well, now that we got that under our belts, we should probably head over to our colleagues at BNN for your business headlines.
Metro reported first quarter results that missed the mark. The grocery store chain says net earnings dropped almost 13% year over year because of what it calls a challenging operating environment. A temporary shutdown of a frozen food distribution center weighed on Metro last year. Despite the miss, the grocer is hiking its quarterly dividend. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.64. West Texas Intermediate is up $1.76 to 62.39. Western Canadian Select down to 44.87. And the TSX gained just 3 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Well, taking a look now at our 3-day forecast, we are seeing that sunny skies are in the horizon for New Brunswick. A little bit cooler start to the day. And of course, there will be some wind chill factors as well. As we head into Thursday, cloudier conditions settling in with a chance of flurries into the afternoon. And then Friday could see those flurries again, but warmer temperatures as we head towards the weekend. In Nova Scotia, much of the same. Parts of western Nova Scotia seeing some flurry action for today, but mostly a mix of sun and cloud. That's going to continue into Thursday before we see some more cloud coverage heading our way into Friday. Over on Prince Edward Island, mostly sunny conditions today, and that's going to continue into Thursday. We'll see some increasing cloud cover before we see some flurries enter the region on Friday. Stay with us.
Just ahead, the Move Morning Chat. Today we want to know about a time you've been snowed in. The higher the banks, the better. That conversation coming up in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning, Atlantic, Canada, and kids. Get back to school. You've had enough snow days. No, most kids are heading back to school today. Most, but the Tri-County area, schools under that banner, they don't have school today. It's another snow day for them. Also, Annapolis County schools, no school today. And there are a number of pockets of different school boards that they have buses running only on paved roads, or they have their back road plan in place. So we're going to have an article up on our website very shortly for more details. So we still are seeing some lingering impacts from this weather system that has Well, past us, though, it's in Newfoundland right now?
Yep, Newfoundland and Labrador impacting those areas still. So still seeing some snow today.
It was a whopper. It is a whopper.
It is a whopper, yeah. Between 18 centimeters of snow for some and 42. So, you know, depending on where you were, got to see a lot of snow coming in in the span of 24 hours.
Yeah. Junior whopper and a regular whopper.
You know it.
St. John, I'm going to be in your little neck of the woods this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, I love St. John.
Amazing. Well,
beautiful spot.
It should be nice for you this weekend, so that's exciting.
That's good. I was concerned about the driving, so thank you.
No problem, although you might want to get out before Sunday, looking at the current systems, but the roads are clear right now, so driving shouldn't be too much of an issue as you get on the road this morning, although it is a cooler start to the day. So we are going to see some cooler temperatures coming through, especially in northern parts of New Brunswick as we start our day and into Labrador. Now we are experiencing wind chill factors as well. So although those numbers say it's a little bit warmer than what it's feeling like right now, just make sure you are bundling up, especially as you send those kiddos back to school, because it is going to be a colder one out there. Sunshine, but cold. Of course, over in Newfoundland and Labrador, still experiencing some of that snow from the system that has moved through our region. As we take a look here, that winter storm is still in effect at a yellow level alert. So that's from Nain to Hopedale. That's going to continue throughout the afternoon, especially in the Nain area. An additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow with northwesterly winds gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour. But of course, I will have a full look at that forecast coming up in just a bit. For now, let's head over to Amanda for a look at local news headlines.
Thank you, Brianne. Police in St. John are investigating offenses of a sexual nature with at least a dozen victims between their 70s and 90s at a local nursing home. A memo from Loch Lomond Villa was sent to the families of residents on Friday, saying the administration had become aware of a serious situation at the village that had become a police investigation. Police say they have identified a suspect, but so far no charges have been announced. Police add the suspect is not a resident nor a staff member.
And we're talking about people that are vulnerable, that basically are not able to speak for themselves. And it's so sad when these kinds of things happen. I'm really pleased that the home did reveal or make it open, because I'm a firm believer that if it had gone directly to social development, I don't think we'd know as much as we know today.
In a statement, Loch Lomond Villa CEO Ashley King said existing safety protocols remain in place and additional measures have been implemented, including the presence of an on-site security company. Police say a dedicated phone line has been established for the families of affected residents. A key witness for the prosecution took the stand at the Jansen Baker double murder trial in Moncton. Zachary Trevors told the court he drove Baker, a longtime friend, to a neighborhood in Dieppe on September 7th, 2019. The same day, Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier were shot to death in their home. Trevors says he went as far as the sunroom at the house, but left. He testified he saw Baker pointing his hands in the air and yelling before he heard a scream and 2 bangs. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. The ongoing battle over bike lanes is heating up at Halifax Regional Council again. In an evening news release, Mayor Andy Fillmore says the latest cost estimate for HRM's cycling network has ballooned to $85 million from the original $25 million. Fillmore says he can't support the current plan because of the price tag, especially in economically challenging times. He's urging the city to examine lower cost alternatives, as other cities have done. In the past, some councillors have argued for forging ahead with the plan, noting a sizable number of routes are already complete, and encouraging active transportation has been a council priority since 2014. Proponents have also suggested it will help traffic by cutting the number of cars on the road. If you need to fill up your vehicle, you will be paying more for diesel in Nova Scotia this morning after the interrupter clause was invoked overnight. Diesel increased by 6.7 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.74. The price of gas did not change. You might want to check your pantries. A popular brand of baby biscuits are being recalled. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says Gerber brand arrowroot biscuits are being recalled due to the possible presence of pieces of soft plastic and paper. The cookies were sold across the country. The agency says the biscuits should not be consumed, distributed, or sold. They should be thrown out or returned to the store where they were purchased. Now to a story many of us can relate to, especially this week. As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, a Cape Breton man has turned one of his biggest frustrations about shoveling into a song.
For driveways, he has what you might call a bit of a pet peeve.
The older you get, the more you understand that the plow driver is just doing his job, and there's nothing he can do about it. But there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than finishing up a shoveling job and then there it goes again. I said, baby, the plow just went by, and your dad's back is bad at 35.
Now, the Sydney musician and father of 3-year-old twins has written a song about just what it feels like when the plow undoes some of your hard work. It's called The Plow Just Went By, and he says it was inspired in part by Cape Breton's infamous Snowmageddon storm 2 winters ago.
Where we were snowed in for 7 days or so, and that's where I wrote the majority of the song. So stay here, my little big eyes, I will be back to say goodnight.
The song will be officially released this coming Friday, January 30th, and Will McNeil says he didn't exactly plan for it to come out the same week as a significant snowstorm. It doesn't exactly hurt that it did.
I hope that people can relate to it quite a bit and kind of see their own story in the song, for sure.
Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
It's a good song.
I love it. I'm so here for it.
I know, perfect. And I love that he didn't even plan to release it this week.
It was just perfect.
Yeah, Mother Nature was on his side. Oh my gosh, listen to this. It's hard to believe that someone would pay good money to have snow to shovel, but that is what this family did. The Guzman family recently purchased a snowmaker so the kids could experience sledding in the yard of their Texas home. The kids were so delighted with all the white stuff, they invited all their neighbor kids to join in on the fun. Some cool kicks there, actually, sidebar. Dad Raphael says he's very pleased with this investment. He's even going to let the kids throw snowballs, but they have to be wearing eye protection.
It's funny, my friend Lamar lives in Austin, Texas, and they experienced that storm coming through, and he was on the opposite side of this, not enjoying snow and rain coming through.
Yeah, I believe that's a Houston area. They didn't get the
storm.
Everybody else got, so they had to buy.
So they had to buy
snowmaker.
They could have just come here.
Exactly.
Come visit us.
Next time, yeah. I know, wild. Anyway, there you have it.
It makes us love the fresh snow that we have even more.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have your entertainment headlines, but coming up next, it is the Move Morning Chat. This has us thinking, when was the last time you were like truly snowed in, and where was it? That conversation is coming up here at 6:40 on your Wednesday morning.
Good morning, Brookvale. 6:44. 7:14 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And yes, look at that fresh powder. It looks like a perfect day to go skiing if you are in the area. And it will continue to be a perfect day because we are going to see some sunshine coming through, that fresh powder on the ground. So if you can get out there, maybe do so today. Of course, we are seeing some cooler temperatures and wind chill factors are in effect this morning as we continue throughout the day. Those will lessen, but we will still continue to see some wind chill factors. So things feeling a little bit colder than what those numbers are saying right now. We do still have one yellow alert still in effect issued by Environment Canada, and that is over in Labrador. So we are going to continue to see this winter storm for today, mostly hanging around in the Nain area. So if you are in the Nain area, that's where we're going to see the majority of that storm continuing throughout the course of today. Should lessen as we head throughout the morning in the Hopedale area, but we should see an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow and those northwesterly winds coming in, gusting about 60 kilometers per hour. So blowing snow also a concern if you are out and about on the roads for today. Watching our weather forecast, we are seeing a few scattered flurries through western parts of Nova Scotia. But again, the majority of that snow is hanging around over in Labrador and Newfoundland, a little bit over in parts of Cape Breton for today as well. As we head into tonight, we'll see some clearer skies as we start our day into Thursday, and then we are going to see a little bit of snow pushing in. Now, taking a look at these wind chill values as of 8 a.m., this is why I say make sure you check that before you head out and about, or if you're sending the kids off to school for today. If they're back in school, then make sure that they are bundled up, because frostbite is a little bit of a concern, especially in the Edmundston area. So just make sure you're taking that into consideration. As we head later into the day, we do see that starts to drop a little bit, but again, those wind chill values are still going to be in effect. Over in Labrador City, that's where things are feeling really cold this morning. Not so bad over in St. Anthony or the St. John's area, and as the day continues, we'll see that start to drop once again. Pretty much no wind chill in St. Anthony or Happy Valley Goose Bay, but hanging around still in Labrador. Now, taking a look at our wind gusts, we will see an increase in gusting winds this afternoon before things taper off into the evening, and then we'll start to see those coming back as we head into Thursday, rather. Now, taking a look at our forecast for today, mostly sunny conditions, pretty nice reprieve from what we've experienced the past couple days. We're seeing mostly sunshine across Prince Edward Island as well. Could see a few scattered showers, especially in the Cheticap area, maybe in Sydney as well, but mostly sunny skies for central and eastern parts of Nova Scotia. A few flurries still lingering along that Bay of Fundy coastline, though, in parts of Nova Scotia. And of course, that storm is continuing in Newfoundland and Labrador. And that has us wondering, when was the last time you got snowed in?
It's a Move Morning Chat with our friends Brianne and Aaron and Peter. And since we've received so much snow over the past couple days, we got to keep the conversation going. When it comes to snow, there have been numerous school cancellations. So we got to ask, when was the last time you were really snowed in?
Oh, there's so many good stories coming in, and Peter has one to share in a moment. But I wanted to mention a text we got from Debbie Walsh, one of our Move family members here in Halifax, because it's just like the most Cape Breton thing I've ever heard. She shared with us this morning that she remembers getting stranded in Cape Breton back in the 70s. She was with her mom, and they were traveling from Antigonish from a Highland dancing competition. The locals ended up putting everybody who was stuck in this snowstorm in a church basement. And she said it was one big pajama party. All they ate were peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and boiled hot dogs. And I'm like, if that isn't the most Cape Breton story I've ever heard, I thought it was so adorable. But Peter has many memories of, snow days.
That time you were snowed in. Okay, so picture this. I got snowed in at the Legion in Parsbro. And if you're watching in Parsbro, Nova Scotia this morning, it wasn't the new Legion, it was the old Legion. I was 4 years old, and quite frankly, this is my earliest memory, the one that I can actually put a pin in it and say, yep, I remember I was 4 years old, and I could actually get down to a particular date. My cousin was having her wedding shower at the Legion, in the basement of the Legion, and a snowstorm arrived. There was no way we were getting out of there. If you stayed for the whole shower, you were stuck there. So there we are, 4 years old Peter playing shuffleboard and darts in the basement of the Legion and snowed in. So my first actual memory that I can say, yep, that happened to me when I was 4.
Wow, that's amazing that it's your actual memory. And also shout out to the basements helping all of us out during these massive snowstorms. Brianne, growing up in Ottawa, I mean, gosh, what was the time you were truly snowed in?
I mean, truly snowed in, I honestly can't remember because the city still functioned, right? Ottawa's used to getting a whole lot of snow, but I will remember I went to university just outside of Toronto, and my university, they got like 2 centimeters of snow and everything shut down and everyone was freaking out. And so my university shut down. I was going home to Ottawa for the weekend anyways, and I get to Ottawa, nothing is closed, and the snowbanks are like higher than like cars, and everything's just still running. So yeah, not necessarily snowed in memories, but lots of snow memories.
Lots of snow. Okay, mine's not going to be a major surprise for East Coasters. It's White Juan. Of course, that was that massive snowstorm that we had back in 2004. For me, I remember I was in grade 10. And at that time, you're a teenager. You want to see your friends. We didn't have social media. And I remember just being stuck inside with my family. And my family's lovely. They're wonderful people, but just being in our house for days and not being able to socialize with my friends, it felt like so long. And it was an exceptional snow event, but I still think back to that when I was in grade 10. White one. We always have to talk about it. Okay, so 10400 is the number. You can send us a text and share with us, where did you get snowed in? Let us know your unique story. We would love to share it on the show a little bit later. 10400 is the number to text us at.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. It is 6:54, and good news out of Halifax Airport, you can actually take flights.
Well, let's take a free trip to Hollywood. No flight needed.
BAFTA nominations or the British Oscars are out. Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another led the nomination count with 14 in total. Sinners was right behind with 13. Both will battle for Best Film along with Marty Supreme, Hamnet, and Sentimental Value. The first episode of Shrinking Season 3 premieres today. ABC Audio caught up with Jason Segel, who spoke about his relationship with co-star Harrison Ford.
It's the honor of a lifetime as an actor and all that. And of course, I'm still 3 years in. I have moments where I'm pinching myself, like, can you believe it? And all of that is great. The coolest part, though, is that he's my friend.
I hope you can walk because I'm not carrying you.
Daredevil Born Again is back. A trailer for Season 2 shows Kristen Ritter returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a superpowered private detective, Jessica Jones. Look for Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus on March 24th. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. And a milestone happy birthday to Alan Alda, the legendary actor and filmmaker most famous for his 11 seasons as Hawkeye Pierce on TV's MASH, is turning 90 years old today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
While taking a look at weather in our region, this 3-day forecast, we are seeing some sunshine popping through for most of New Brunswick today. A little bit cooler temperatures. We will have wind chill factors in effect as well, so just make sure you are checking that as you head out and about. Thursday, we see some more cloud coverage coming into the region. Of course, there is going to be a chance of flurries as well. And Friday, we'll see an increase in clouds as well as some more flurries coming through, especially in the course of the evening. Now, over in Nova Scotia, a few flurries lingering in western parts of Nova Scotia as well as Cape Breton, but we will see some sunshine popping through for today as well as into Thursday. On the Gentle Island, mostly sunny skies. A high of -11, wind chill factors making it feel colder, -13 into Thursday.
It's Wednesday, January 28th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, the cleanup continues. There are some school closures in Nova Scotia for a third day in a row. We'll have more details in your top news headlines.
And the work of Bobby's Hospice. We'll chat with the CEO of Hospice St. John about their annual gala and why community support is so important. Those stories and more are coming up in this half hour of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. It is 7 o'clock, 7:30 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And it was nice to wake up this morning and not have to brush my car off or scrape it down.
Yes, I did do a little brushy.
A little brushy?
Yeah, but just a little one.
No, just like a light.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it was gone.
Then it was gone.
My car is nice and cozy in a garage. I don't know what you're talking about.
Living the life, Amanda.
Living the life of luxury. No, that is a benefit. But yeah, we do have some lingering snow closures today.
Yeah.
There's some schools in Nova Scotia, like southwestern Nova Scotia, parts of the Annapolis Valley as well. So those details coming up.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. The cleanup is definitely underway. Like when it was nice actually to leave the house today and not have to white knuckle it through thick, heavy snow.
Yeah.
There were actual, bits
Lines.
of pavement, lines to be seen.
Oh my goodness. It's great when you can see the road, isn't it?
Well, I hope all those snowplow operators are finally taking a break, taking some time off, because they've been working hard and they've been working around the clock, around the region.
Yeah, definitely. When I was pulling into Tim Hortons this morning on my way in, there was a couple just like beside the Tim Hortons, and I was like, I hope you're getting a coffee right now.
Yeah.
Because you earned it, for sure.
Hopefully someone else pays for it for you.
Yeah, pay it forward.
So the plow operators, are they going to actually get to stop and have coffee today, or is
they are going to get to stop and have a coffee today? I mean, there is still a little bit, of course, we can see here in Antigonish on the roads, some salting necessary, but again, with that system that came through so long, we did see that road conditions aren't necessarily the best as we continue throughout today, though there is going to be some sunshine in our region, so we are going to see a little bit of that reprieve from these flurry conditions. As we take a look here at current temperatures, wind chill factors are a concern for today as well, so just make sure you're taking that into consideration, especially throughout the course of this morning. Things will warm up a little bit as we head later on into today, but if you look up in Edmundston, we're seeing -26 right now with that wind chill, -23 in Fredericton, as well as Moncton, -24 in Charlottetown, and -23 in New Glasgow. So just make sure you are bundling up if you're heading out and about, especially if you're up in Labrador City, because again, colder conditions impacting into Labrador still, looking at that 30-minute mark for frostbite. So make sure you take that into consideration if you're heading out and about. Just one tiny yellow alert left for us in the region right now. That winter storm is still sticking around in Labrador. So from Nain to Hopedale, make sure you are taking into consideration, if you do have to get onto the roads today, that there will be an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow with those winds blowing northwesterly 60 kilometers per hour, meaning the conditions driving aren't going to be great because that blowing snow is going to be coming across. So if you can stay home, do, as that continues throughout the course of today, really hanging on into the Nain area into Wednesday afternoon. We should start to see it lift a little bit in the Hopedale area. But we'll have a full look at weather coming up in just a bit. For now, let's head over to Amanda.
And we do have another round of school cancellations this morning as the storm cleanup continues. In Nova Scotia, all schools under the Tri-County banner are closed for the day. Schools in the Annapolis County are also closed due to weather and road conditions. There are also a number of back road closure plans and buses running on paved roads only. You can find a detailed list on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. Police in St. John are investigating offenses of a sexual nature with at least a dozen victims between their 70s and 90s at a local nursing home. A memo from Loch Lomond Villa was sent to families of residents on Friday, saying the administration had become aware of a serious situation at the village that had become a police investigation. Police say they have identified a suspect, but so far no charges have been announced. Police add the suspect is not a resident nor a staff member.
We're talking about people that are vulnerable, that basically are not able to speak for themselves. And it's so sad when these kinds of things happen. I'm really pleased that the home did reveal or make it open, because I'm a firm believer that if it had gone directly to social development, I don't think we'd know as much as we know today.
In a statement, Loch Lomond Villa CEO Ashley King said existing safety protocols remain in place and additional measures have been implemented, including the presence of an on-site security company. Police say a dedicated phone line has been established for the families of affected residents. You'll be paying more for diesel in Nova Scotia this morning after the interrupter clause was invoked overnight. Diesel increased by 6.7 cents a litre. The minimum price in the Halifax area, also known as Zone 1, now $1.74. The price of gas did not change. The ongoing battle over bike lanes is heating up at Halifax Regional Council again. In a late-night news release, Mayor Andy Fillmore says the latest cost estimate for HRM's cycling network has ballooned to $85 million from the original $25 million. Fillmore says he can't support the current plan because of the price tag, especially in economically challenging times. He's urging the city to examine lower-cost alternatives, as other cities have done. In the past, some councillors have argued for forging ahead with the plan, noting a sizable number of routes are already complete, and encouraging active transportation has been a council priority since 2014. Proponents have also suggested it will help traffic by cutting the number of cars on the road. Meantime, ride-sharing companies won't have to follow the same rules as Halifax taxis, at least for now. Regional Council voted down a motion that would have forced outfits like Uber to operate under the same regulations as cab companies. Currently, HRM licenses taxi drivers individually and rideshare companies as whole entities. So if there's an issue with a driver, the city can issue a $235 fine to the company or revoke the company's license. As of now, rideshare companies, or TNCs, collect background checks while taxi drivers submit them to the city. Staff recommended more oversight, but that motion was defeated, with the mayor saying more discussions need to happen.
To bring the taxi industry, the TNC industry, and HRM regulators to the table so that we can map out a way to harmonize the two regulation of the two services together in a way that keeps costs down and limits regulatory burden.
Andy Fillmore says reporting criminal record checks to HRM will absolutely be part of future requirements. New Brunswick is bringing back elected members of the public to its 2 health authority boards. Until 3 years ago, both Horizon and Vitalité had both elected and appointed members, but that practice was ended by the province after the death of a patient in an ER waiting room. The change requires legislation, but the health minister says it's necessary.
Well, there is a crisis today. Our boards are very proactive in getting us through that, dealing with emergency departments, ALC patients, primary care. And I think that we can augment that by increasing transparency, by having elected people on those boards.
It is worth noting Horizon and Vitalité need to be consulted on the move, so it's unlikely elected members would be in place until the 2030 election cycle. Finally, hundreds of Scots carrying a torch for an ancient Viking festival. Take a look at this. This is a really interesting festival. So after snaking through town, the marchers threw their torches on a replica Viking longship. Yeah, and the inferno burned 4 months of work by gallery builders. The roots of this festival date back over 12 centuries.
We have to put it on the list, Kristen.
I would say. That seems really neat.
Yeah. I know, like, yes, we're gonna build this replica Viking ship for 4 months, and then for this festival, we're gonna burn it down.
Well, yeah.
I love it.
It's amazing.
Look at how many people showed up. Like, it's a great tourist attraction. That's so fun.
So warm.
Definitely. Definitely.
Isn't that neat?
I love it.
Yeah, that is really
wow. I wouldn't want to be downwind.
I mean, Viking
look
culture
at this.
is like,
That's a bonfire, people. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Keep you nice and toasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a marshmallow.
It's true. Scotland's very damp. Yeah. That would take the chill off for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to some science, shall we? We love some science on the show.
Yep.
This is a program that puts endangered leopard sharks back into the wild, and it's already off to a strong start this year. So Thailand's STAR project tries to make sure sharks that breed in aquariums make a successful transition. So the sharks are put through a sort of boot camp where they learn to live in natural conditions. After the release, they're tracked to see how they're doing in the wild. Look at how cool they are. That's a leopard shark, people. I love it. They released 7 this year successfully. They are beautiful. And remember, people, most sharks are not dangerous. You're more danger to them than they
sharks are the best.
Like this guy, it's not gonna hurt you.
No.
Oh, so cool.
Beautiful. I'd love to see that. You haven't seen one, have you?
I haven't seen a tiger shark, no. Or sorry, a leopard shark. I've seen a tiger shark. I haven't seen a leopard shark.
Wow.
Cool.
But when I was swimming in Thailand, I did not see any, so sad.
That's too bad.
But what an experience to swim in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
It was my graduation present from my parents. So.
Whoa. Your parents are just the coolest.
My parents are the coolest.
Can't wait
This
to meet
is
them.
really cool. Her mom smells really nice.
She did too?
She does. Yeah.
Wow. Got it all.
Anyways, that's Barb. Still ahead, we're going to have a look at your national news headlines. But first, it's your full midweek weather forecast with Brianne. Good morning to our viewers in Port de Grave. Lots of fresh snow there. You have to admit, it's a beautiful sight once you've taken care of all the snow clearing. The clear forecast is coming up.
Good morning, McAdam. Beautiful start to the day. We're starting to see that sunshine. It is 7:14, 7:44 if you are in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. Now, as we take a look here, like we saw a beautiful start to the day. We are going to see sunshine for most of the Maritimes for today, although we do have some cooler temperatures, especially up in northern parts of New Brunswick to start the day. Again, we are still having a little bit of cooler temperatures lingering in Labrador, and we will have some wind chill factors in effect for today as well. But first and foremost, let's start with your yellow alert warning. We do still have that winter storm warning in effect for today. Mostly in the Nain area, we will start to see that kind of lift later into the morning in the Hopedale area, but we can expect to see an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow with those northwesterly winds gusting 60 kilometers per hour. So if you are on the roads or having to drive today, just take that into consideration because that gusting wind is going to make snow blow across those roads, making for dangerous driving conditions. Now, taking a look here at our forecasted timeline, a little bit of flurries hanging around in western parts of Nova Scotia, as well as into parts of Cape Breton, but the majority of that storm, again, staying over in Newfoundland and Labrador. We've already dealt with it. We're not dealing with it anymore for today for the most part in the Maritimes. So we are going to continue to see an increase of sun, some clearer skies as we head into the night. Then we will have some cloud cover coming through in the early hours of Thursday morning. But like I said, those wind chill factors are really going to be impacting how temperatures are feeling today. So again, what the numbers are saying, not necessarily what we're feeling, especially up in the Edmundston area, McAdam, as well as Fredericton. So bundle up if you are going out and about today. It will start to taper down a little bit, so we will see warmer conditions settling in a little bit later into the afternoon, especially with that sunshine. But again, it's still going to be chilly out there. Less so over in parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, but Labrador City still under that colder wind chill. So as we take a look here at our wind gusts, we are going to see an increase in wind gusts throughout the course of the afternoon before those start to taper off into the early hours of Thursday morning. So sunny skies pretty much across New Brunswick for today. So nice day to be out and about. Same with over on Prince Edward Island. In Cape Breton, we're going to see a few scattered flurries in Chetty Camp as well as in Sydney, but mostly sunny skies for eastern parts of Nova Scotia. A few flurries, like I said, remaining on that Bay of Fundy coastline, although we'll mostly see that sun popping through. And yes, that winter storm is remaining for Newfoundland and Labrador. Let's head over to Amanda for your look at international and national headlines.
Thank you so much, Brianne. Stateside, there was another dramatic shift from the U.S. president over his immigration raids in Minneapolis that have turned fatal. The Department of Homeland Security revealed 2 federal agents opened fire in the deadly encounter that killed an ICU nurse over the weekend. CTV's Joy Malvin has the latest.
The U.S. president in Iowa to talk about the economy, but grappling with the fallout over the killing of 37-year-old Alex Preddy by federal agents, telling Fox News,
"We're going to de-escalate a little bit."
The president is facing political backlash even from his own party. They're horrified over violent immigration enforcement tactics in Minneapolis. The president reshuffling the leaders of his immigration crackdown. Controversial Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino is out. Border czar Tom Homan is now in Minneapolis taking charge and meeting with state officials to ease tensions.
We're doing a big investigation. I want to see the investigation. I'm going to be watching over it. I want a very honorable and honest investigation.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now.
There's still anger and outrage on the streets. New video shows Preddy recording ICE officers he's tackled. One of the officers removes the gun. Preddy had a license to carry one, and then 10 shots are heard. A Homeland Security report now says that Preddy was shot by 2 federal officers.
I don't like that he had a gun. I don't like that he had 2 fully loaded magazines. That's a lot of bad stuff. And despite that, I say that's a very unfortunate.
The video from many angles directly contradicts Trump's top aide, Stephen Miller, and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who labeled Preddy a domestic terrorist just after he was killed. Lawmakers are demanding Trump fire Noem or they'll impeach her.
We should own the issue of border security and immigration, but they have destroyed that for Republicans. Something that got the president elected, they have destroyed it through their incompetence.
And Democrats are threatening to block billions in funding for ICE in a budget bill that could lead to a partial shutdown this week.
CTV's Joy Malvin reporting in Washington. And we're getting new details about an effort to send more than 24 whales from what used to be Marineland to the United States. Canada's fisheries minister says the former theme park has a solid plan to transfer the remaining 34 belugas and 4 dolphins, allowing them to live in healthier conditions. On Monday, Ottawa conditionally approved Marineland's application to export the mammals. But those federal permits require a health assessment and a plan to get them to their U.S. destinations. Marineland is in talks with aquariums in Chicago, Atlanta, Connecticut, and SeaWorld, which has several locations. The Canadian press says Marineland gave Ottawa a deadline of January 30th to approve the permits, or it would go ahead with its backup plan to euthanize the animals. NASA has confirmed the rocket that will take Canadian Jeremy Hansen and 3 other astronauts to the moon is on track or even ahead of schedule for a crucial test. The space agency has been working toward a rehearsal in which the rocket is filled with fuel and Artemis 2 mission controllers practice for launch day. That test is expected to happen as early as Saturday, leading up to a simulated liftoff at 9 p.m. If all goes well, NASA may move forward with key meetings and narrow down a target launch date. It is currently planned for no earlier than February 6. Hansen and his colleagues entered quarantine on Friday. They will circle the moon and return home in preparation for another crew touching down on the lunar surface next year. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, Crystal will have a conversation with Bobby's Hospice about the work they do in an upcoming event next month. That's next.
Welcome back at 7:24. Atlantic Canada's first residential hospice is getting ready for its signature event. Hospice Greater St. John's annual Valentine Gala is Saturday, February 14th at the Trade and Convention Centre in Market Square. It's emceed by CTV's own Ted Battis, and the event celebrates and supports palliative care at Bobby's Hospice. Joining us from the Port City is Brad Adams, CEO of Hospice Greater St. John. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning. How are you, Crystal?
I'm great this morning, and I love to shine a spotlight on organizations like yours who are doing such great things in the community. The gala supports Bobby's Hospice. Tell us more about this gala.
Yeah, it's one of our annual events. We invite the Greater St. John community, whether they be business or just interested donors, to come and celebrate a little bit about our year. We like to talk about what's happened within our organization, share some exciting upcoming moments that are scheduled for this year. It's an opportunity just to kind of showcase who Bobby's Hospice are and what we do for our community.
Yeah, and we're seeing images of past events here. So does the event involve, kind of walk us through? There's a dinner and then speeches. What happens at the gala?
Yeah, it's a seated meal, emceed by Todd Battis of CTV Atlantic. We've got live and silent auctions, a live artist who is performing throughout the evening and auctioning off a piece of art at the end of the evening. We again, lots of speeches and celebrations, and this year we're honoring Monsignor Brian Sheehan, who's a dear friend of Bobby's Hospice and has been a great supporter through the entirety of our organization's years. He's a clergy from across the road. He's very generous with his space when we have on-site events and provides a lot of spiritual care to our patients.
Well, let's talk about how the proceeds from the gala support the work being done at Bobby's Hospice.
Yeah, we operate on a 2.9 annual operating budget. We're very graciously subsidized about $1 million from our provincial government here in New Brunswick. But the remaining 1.9 million does come from the Greater St. John community. We've got a social enterprise, the Hospice Shop, which does great to generate a lot of funds, but events like our Hospice Gala are truly important to make sure that we meet our operational needs.
All right, so the 2 quick questions to go then, because I know this is such an important fundraiser. First of all, where can people get tickets and information about this year's gala?
Yeah, best way to get information is call us directly. Our direct line is 506-6 632-5593, or you could visit hospicesj.ca, and we've got lots of information on our website as well.
Perfect. And then my final question, Brad, is if people aren't able to go to the gala this year, how else can they support you?
Yeah, we're open 365 for donations. Feel free to take a look at our wish list, some items that we may need to support our organization, or if you're generous enough to make a monetary donation, by all means, you can do so online again at hospicesj.ca or by giving us a call. We certainly appreciate all support.
Well, Brad, thank you so much for joining us live this morning.
Thanks so much. Appreciate the time.
I hope that this year's gala is the best yet. And we have put a link to tickets and more information about Bobby's Hospice on our website. It's time for a quick break. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back after this.
Coming up in this half hour, send something sweet to a senior, a Valentine. The popular campaign by the folks at We Are Young is back for 2026. We'll find out how you can support them while putting a smile on the face of a deserving older adult. That conversation coming up in 15 minutes on the Wednesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
On this Wednesday, halfway through the week, halfway through the show. Going to be a great rest of the show. First of all, this half hour we have We Are Young, a foundation started in Nova Scotia that supports seniors, helping make wishes come true for seniors. So they do big wishes. Like if you want to go skydiving and you're a senior, they'll make that happen for you, which is so cool. But they also support seniors through programs like this one, the Valentine's campaign, where they actually deliver seniors a little, we'll learn more about it in a second, but they get a Valentine, a beautifully handwritten note, and some chocolates.
Amazing.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's super
I can't believe we're already talking about Valentine's Day.
Well, it's actually just like 2.5 weeks away, so it's going to be here any second. But before we get to Valentine's Day, lots of snow is coming, I hear. We'll worry about that later.
We'll worry about that later. Let's focus on today, on the sunshine.
Sunshine. Ooh, I'm here for that.
We deserve it.
Look, it's your favorite roundabout.
Ooh, she looks so pretty in her white dress today.
She does look pretty in her white dress, and you can see that sun starting to pop through, in fact, in Hampton. So yes, we are going to be experiencing mostly sunshine through the Maritimes. Still going to have a little bit of that winter storm hanging on through Newfoundland and Labrador today. Cooler temperatures up in northern parts of New Brunswick for today, and wind chill factors are going to be impacting how those temperatures are feeling. So again, just make sure you are taking that into consideration as you head out and about today. That will start to lessen as we head later on into the morning. However, to start our day, again, those colder temperatures, that wind chill really a factor without that sunshine at the moment. So we do have one yellow alert left from Environment Canada. It is a winter storm that's still impacting Nain to Hopedale. That's going to continue throughout the day today, mostly in the morning for the Hopedale area. Nain will continue to see it for the majority of Wednesday before it tapers off into the evening. Now we are going to see an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow. Those northwesterly winds are going to be gusting 60 kilometers per hour, which means blowing snow is going to be a concern if you are on the roads. I will have a full look at weather coming up in just a bit, but for now, let's head over to Amanda for a look at local news headlines.
And we do have another round of school cancellations this morning, though not as widespread as yesterday. This is as the storm cleanup continues for a third day. In Nova Scotia, all schools under the Tri-County banner are closed for the day. Schools in the Annapolis County also closed due to weather and road conditions. There are also a number of back road closure plans and buses running on paved roads only. You can find a detailed list on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. Police in St. John are investigating offenses of a sexual nature with at least a dozen victims between their 70s and 90s at a local nursing home. A memo from Loch Lomond Villa was sent to the families of residents on Friday, saying the administration had become aware of a serious situation at the village that had become a police investigation. Police say they've identified a suspect, but so far no charges have been announced. Police add the suspect is not a resident nor a staff member.
And we're talking about people that are vulnerable, that basically are not able to speak for themselves. And it's so sad when these kinds of things happen. I'm really pleased that the home did reveal or make it open, because I'm a firm believer that if it had gone directly to social development, I don't think we'd know as much as we know today.
In a statement, Loch Lomond Villa CEO Ashley King said existing safety protocols remain in place and additional measures have been implemented, including the presence of an on-site security company. Police say a dedicated phone line has also been established for the families of affected residents. In Moncton, a key witness for the prosecution took the stand at the Jansen double murder trial. Make that the Jansen Baker. Zachary Trevors told the court he drove Baker, a longtime friend, to a neighborhood in Dieppe on September 7th, 2019. The same day, Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier were shot to death in their home. Trevors says he went as far as the sunroom at the house but left. He testified he saw Baker pointing his hands in the air and yelling before he heard a scream and 2 bangs. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. The ongoing battle over bike lanes is heating up at Halifax Regional Council again. In an evening news release, Mayor Andy Fillmore says the latest cost estimate for HRM's cycling network has ballooned to $85 million from the original $25 million. Fillmore says he can't support the current plan because of the price tag, especially in economically challenging times. He's urging the city to examine lower-cost alternatives, as other cities have done. In the past, some councillors have argued for forging ahead with the plan, noting a sizable number of routes are already complete, and encouraging active transportation has been a council priority since 2014. Proponents have also suggested it will help traffic by cutting the number of cars on the road. New this morning, you'll be paying more for diesel in Nova Scotia after the interrupter clause was invoked overnight. Diesel increased by 6.7 cents a litre. The minimum price in the Halifax area, now $1.74. The price of gas did not change. Finally, a very special litter of puppies was recently born in the small New Brunswick community of Cambridge Narrows. And the CTV's Avery McRae shows us the tiny retrievers are a very rare breed.
11 brown and black balls of fur. At just 3 weeks old, these puppies are still learning how life works and have little idea of just how rare they are.
This is only the second litter in the last 2 years in all of Canada.
These are curly-coated retrievers. They are one of the oldest breeds around, says first-time breeder Juanita Pelli, nearly going extinct in the early 20th century. She says nationwide there are under 100 of these types of dogs.
I am very much filled with joy and pride for being able to raise the numbers and to raise the popularity of this breed in Canada.
Just like their more common cousins, the curly-coated canine is highly intelligent and a loyal family member.
Will spend all day with you out in the field or hiking or hunting, but will also be just as comfortable curling up on the sofa, putting their head on their lap, watching TV.
3 puppies have already found homes in Nova Scotia, Calgary, and Washington, and Pelli points out the distance speaks to how rare they are. She hopes to have more litters down the line, with a goal to see the breed return to glory just as they were 100 years ago. Avery McRae, CTV News, Cambridge Narrows, New Brunswick.
My only issue with that was that Avery McRae was not holding one of those puppies during that report.
Maybe they're too young.
Them a bit. I could see his little hand petting one.
Oh my gosh, they're really cute.
Cutie but tooties,
gosh.
rare and adorable.
Yes.
Okay, guess what? It's a reminder about the Move Morning Chat. We want to hear from you, and the question today might even provoke some great memories, or if you have photos, send them. But text us at 10400. When did you last get snowed in? And just to kind of like, if you missed the segment with Aaron and Peter got snowed in when he was a kid at the Legion.
And remembers.
In Parsboro, and he says the old Legion, not the new Legion.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it was when you were a kid. A lot of people seem to think that the snow was a lot more serious back in the day.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it. We want to hear your stories, 10400.
Uphill both ways.
Exactly.
That's true. Okay, we're about halfway through the show. We got a lot more coming up. Brianne will have another look at the Wednesday forecast, and also, too, we're looking ahead to Valentine's Day. That will be here before you know it. The folks from We Are Young are here to tell us all about this year's campaign to show seniors some love on February 14th. That conversation is coming up next.
Now that I've been to Russo Chocolate.
Good morning, beautiful Bedeck. It is 7:43, 8:13 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And what a gorgeous picture-perfect moment to start this beautiful Wednesday. And we are going to continue to see some sun shining throughout the course of today, especially in the Maritimes, after all that snow has finally cleared out of our region. But taking a look here at current temperatures, a little bit colder up in northern parts of New Brunswick to start the day, also up in Labrador City. Although it's not looking so bad throughout Nova Scotia and southern parts of New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island, we do still have wind chill factors in effect. So as we take a look here, again, it's going to feel a little bit colder, especially along that Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick. So just make sure you are dressing for the weather in the way that it feels rather than the way that those numbers are showing. It will start to warm up a little bit as we head later into today, especially with that sunshine that's going to be moving into the region. But again, it is going to be a little bit colder than what those numbers are saying. So just make sure you are dressing appropriately for that. Over in Labrador City, that's where we're going to see the coldest amount with frostbite within 30 minutes. So do make sure that you are bundling up if you do have to get out and about in Labrador today. As we head later on into the day, not a whole lot of wind chill factors impacting throughout the rest of Labrador and into Newfoundland. Now, we do still have one yellow alert left, so we will talk a little bit about that. We have that winter storm still in effect from Name to Hopewell. It's going to continue throughout the course of today with an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of new snow coming through. Northwesterly winds gusting 60 kilometers per hour. As we take a look here at the forecasted timeline, we are going to have a few flurries lingering through Nova Scotia in western parts for today, as well as over into Cape Breton. But most of that snow, again, is going to be hanging out over in Newfoundland and Labrador while this system works itself out of our area. We will see clearer skies as we head into Wednesday evening. And then into Thursday, we should see mostly sunshine as well throughout the region. Now, we are going to see an increase in gusting winds as we head throughout the day today before those start to taper off into the early hours of Thursday morning. And then when another system starts to make its way into our region, we'll see an increase in gusting winds once again. But for today, we are looking at mostly sunny skies throughout most of New Brunswick. A little bit cooler, like I said, up in Edmundston. We are going to continue to see that sun shining through Prince Edward Island. A few scattered flurries for parts of Cape Breton this morning, but again, that sun is going to be popping out for eastern parts of Nova Scotia. And then western parts of Nova Scotia, again, along that Bay of Fundy coastline, we are going to see a few scattered flurries, but that sun is supposed to be shining throughout the course of today as well. Now, as we head over to Newfoundland and Labrador, yes, we are continuing to see the snow falling as that system works itself out of our area. Crystal?
Hi there, it's 7:46. Now, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, but now is the time to purchase a Valentine for a senior to spread kindness and bring joy to someone who might be very lonely this time of year. For 6 years, We Are Young has hosted a Valentine's Day campaign where people like you purchase Valentines, which are distributed to hundreds of seniors. Now, here to tell us more are Katie Mahoney, the co-founder of We Are Young, along with Natalie Rousseau of Rousseau's Chocolatier. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Oh my gosh, I love this campaign so much. It has grown so much since it started 6 years ago. What's new this year, Katie?
This year, we're excited to not only be working with Rosa Chocolatier, but we partner with Charm Diamond Centers, which is really awesome because they're, proudly Canadian. They're across Canada, and yeah, they're family run, and they're a business that really supports our work. And there's so much parallels between their mission as an organization and what we're trying to do.
Well, great. Their support will help you reach even more people this year.
Definitely.
So the goal is how many seniors?
1,500 seniors they want to reach this year through our campaign.
Amazing. All right, Natalie, that means a lot of chocolate making for you. And I had the joy of going behind the scenes right before Christmas, and the chocolates really are handmade.
Yes.
So
yes,
this is a big job. What do the Valentines look like this year?
So the Valentines for this beautiful campaign we're very excited about because we incorporated one of our international award-winning chocolates, the lavender chocolate made with Seafoam Lavender Farm. So that won the Silver Award in London in 2025. So that's this one right here. We also have our gorgeous heart. Now that's a 2-level raspberry. So it has a raspberry caramel inside with a raspberry ganache underneath. It's so beautiful. And that's one of the chocolates we're featuring in our Valentine's Day collection box. And then the third chocolate is just a very fan favorite. It is made with maple cream, Nova Scotia maple, of course. And yeah, it's just really lovely.
So wonderful. And just, by the way, this is the actual award, which is basically like the Oscars for chocolates, which is very exciting. So the seniors are going to have a very beautiful Valentine, all handmade.
Yeah.
They're distributed in Atlantic Canada and Ontario.
That's right. We work with our community partners to be those people on the ground to distribute them to seniors who could really use the pick-me-up during this time of year.
Yeah, for sure. So seniors will receive these. In the past, can you tell me any anecdotes about a senior that received this and then the story just really warmed your heart?
Yeah, I think it's clear that Valentine's Day is a day of celebrating love and appreciation, and our seniors are often a generation, and we say this every year, that kind of get forgotten about. And, you know, especially during the winter months, it means the world to them that someone is thinking of them with even a small act of kindness. So, I mean, testimonials in the past have proven time and time again how much this really means to them. And some great examples are, you know, how much emotion that this brings to them. Seeing the tears in their eyes, and it makes us really sad, but also makes us really happy that we're able to support them in a small way. And a lot of seniors say that this is something that makes their month.
Absolutely. Well, Katie, we really appreciate that we're young, everything you do, but this particular campaign warms our heart. Valentines are $12. You can purchase them online, and we have a link. But we have like very few seconds left, Nellie. But before we go, you brought on this gorgeous stuff. People could make your month by buying chocolate for Valentine's Day for a loved one.
Exactly. So we have a beautiful collection this year, beautiful packaging. You know, our caramel hearts that are basically a half heart filled with our caramel. It's just, they're back again this year of popular demand. And it's just, yeah.
Is that this one? Can you just hand it to me so I can show up? Oh my gosh, beautiful.
Yes.
And stopping into the shop and getting a latte or a delicious hot chocolate would be the great thing to do in the cold. All right, thank you both so much.
Thank you for having
I can't wait to have you in again next year and hear about how you're warming hearts. So the link to the campaign is on our website, but we have to turn our attention over to health and medical news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, ladies. Health and medical news now. Frigid temperatures can affect your body in many ways, but it can be especially hard on your heart, which is why experts say you should avoid exerting yourself in cold weather, especially if you have medical conditions like heart disease or high blood pressure. It's one of the topics in Your Health.
This is why we tend to see a number of heart attacks or cardiac consequences when people are shoveling snow or doing a lot of heavy effort, high intense work in cold weather or snowy conditions.
Cardiologist Dr. Tamana Singh says in the cold, our bodies are working to maintain core temperature, straining the heart. As blood vessels constrict, blood pressure and heart rate both rise. For those who already have heart problems, it can be dangerous.
Put in some breaks if you're shoveling. Ask for some help. If there's a better time of day to do some of that shoveling, like under the heat of the sun, I would certainly advocate for that.
Red flag symptoms to watch for include chest pain or discomfort, jaw pain or tightness, and general unease. Dr. Singh says if something feels off, get inside and call 911.
That nutcracker
Well, we have just one milestone to pass along today, and it is a very happy anniversary to Jack and Mary Matthews of Wreck Cove, Nova Scotia, celebrating 65 years. All smiles back 65 years ago. You two look absolutely beautiful. Of course, to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
All right, well, that was such a fun I was just busy chatting about the Valentine's campaign.
Well, I hope you were eating chocolate.
I did not.
Oh,
I'm saving that for the seniors. All right. This morning we're meeting a Canadian woman who runs what she calls a fat camp for cats.
Oh, all right. Well, her words, not ours.
No, exactly.
And she's expanded to help more cats live healthier lives. And here's ABC's Danny New.
Come on, Cece. Come on.
It might be hard work, but when a cat needs to lose some weight, shelters know who to call.
A lot of people describe it as a kitty fat camp, so it's a little bit of a kitty fat camp, you know?
Christine here of Ottawa runs the Big House Sanctuary and Rehab, a nonprofit that takes in cats with a little more love to give who usually have trouble getting adopted from shelters.
We help them lose weight, you know, help them with their mobility, and then we find them forever homes.
You may remember our story from the summer of 2024 on Christine's most famous patient, Biggie Smalls. He was 43 pounds when she got him, and now...
Say hi!
Oh, look at you, rub, 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 rub. Christine says after about a year and a half, Biggie is already down to 25 pounds. And he certainly has had no qualms at all with the activities that helped him get here. However, Christine says exercise is not the most important factor.
I'll tell you right now, it's almost like humans. Calories in, calories out. Like, we monitor their calories and their food intake.
Christine says Biggie's fame actually helped her launch this mission about a year ago. And now 95% of the money that funds this care has come through donations from her social media followers.
If one of our cats are in the hospital, I never have to worry about saying, like, oh, I don't know if we can afford this, because as soon as I post about it, everybody's super generous.
Sweetie. Thanks to this community's kindness, Christine can help cats like Cece, who could barely walk when she got her in September. In 4 months, she's already lost 7 pounds.
Everybody loves Cece. This is Cece. She's so sweet.
If you follow the Big House Sanctuary on social media, Christine does weigh-ins every other Friday to check in on the kitties' weights. Of course, she does have to lure them by putting a treat on the scale. So the reading is not entirely accurate, but it's pretty darn close. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
That's how you have to lure me to get onto a scale as well. As for your 3-day forecast, we are looking at -11 as a average for New Brunswick for today. We're looking at sunny skies, cooler conditions as we head into the evening. Then Thursday, we'll see increasing cloud cover with a chance of flurries. Before Friday, we see those flurries lingering once again. On to Nova Scotia, we can expect to see a few flurries as we head throughout the day in western parts of the province, as well as over in Cape Breton. We are going to see some sunshine, though, for the majority of central and eastern Nova Scotia. Heading into Thursday, that sun is going to continue to try and pop out before we see mostly cloudy conditions on Friday. Now over on Prince Edward Island, that sun should be shining bright for today with some additional sunshine for Thursday, cooler temperatures overnight, and Friday, a chance of flurries.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Wednesday, January 28th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, the ongoing battle over bike lanes is heating up at Halifax Regional Council again. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And how's your shoveling form? There's a lot of snow out there right now, and it's easy to hurt yourself if you're not shoveling correctly. We'll get tips on digging out safely in this half hour of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Yeah, those shovels have been used over the past few days and, well, really many times this month. Makes you grateful if you do have a snowblower, a working one, too. Isn't that the worst, too? You try to fire up the snowblower and you realize, uh-oh, it is not working.
Well, that's never happened to me because I don't have a snowblower.
I don't own a driveway, so personally that's never happened to me either. But my father owns his father's snowblower, and he says it's a blessing.
That's a good one.
No way.
I was thinking of this particular kind of snow. It's a snowblower's dream.
Yes.
Because it's just so light and fluffy. The heavy stuff, probably not so much.
Yeah, that's when you're losing the shear pins.
Oh, you know. So you obviously you're snowblower owner.
What is a shear pin?
Or you have had one in your life.
It's a very sheer pin, and my husband complains about them when they fall off and break when the snow is really ice. Special shout out to Mike. If I have to work and there's a snowstorm overnight, he is up at 3 in the morning and he's out there clearing the driveway so I can get out safely. Yeah.
How sweet.
How's that for a Valentine?
That is chivalry right there.
That is love.
And then I go behind him with the shovel like, I'm helping.
Well, that scenario you described, all too familiar to people after this big storm. Today, not so much, though.
Today, not so much. I mean, we will continue to see some of that snow in Newfoundland and Labrador, so, you know, these tips are really great for them as well. However, here in the Maritimes, yeah, this is kind of going to be our view for today, which, is anyone mad about that? It's stunning, looking like a postcard once again. However, no bunnies. I don't see any bunnies running across, or I guess Poppy. Maybe there's a bunch of white bunnies that my eyes are not good enough to see. As we take a look here at our current temperatures, we are seeing still cooler conditions up in northern parts of New Brunswick, and we are going to have some wind chill factors in effect throughout the course of today as well. As we can take a look here, feeling a little bit colder out than what those numbers are saying. So if you do have to head out and about, or if the kids are going back to school for today, just make sure that they are bundled up, because again, it is going to be a little bit colder than what those numbers are saying, especially up in Labrador City. So again, take that into consideration as you head out and about this Wednesday morning. Now, we do have one yellow level alert left in our region, and that is a winter storm in Nain to Hopedale. That's going to continue throughout the course of today. Really sticking around later this afternoon in Nain, additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow with those northwesterly winds blowing up to 60 kilometers per hour. I'll have more on your local forecast coming up in just a bit, but let's head over to Amanda for a look at news headlines.
Thank you so much, Brianne. The ongoing battle over bike lanes is heating up at Halifax Regional Council again. In a news release issued last night, Mayor Andy Fillmore says the latest cost estimate for HRM's cycling network has ballooned to $85 million from the original $25 million. Fillmore says he can't support the current plan because of the price tag, especially in economically challenging times. He's urging the city to examine lower cost alternatives, as other cities have done. In the past, some councillors have argued for forging ahead with the plan, noting a sizable number of routes are already complete. And encouraging active transportation has been a council priority for over 10 years. Proponents have also suggested it will help traffic by cutting the number of cars on the road. Police in St. John are investigating offenses of a sexual nature with at least a dozen victims between their 70s and 90s at a local nursing home. A memo from Loch Lomond Villa was sent to the families of residents on Friday, saying the administration had become aware of a serious situation at the village that had become a police investigation. Police say they've identified a suspect, but so far no charges have been announced. Police add the suspect is not a resident nor a staff member.
We're talking about people that are vulnerable, that basically are not able to speak for themselves. And it's so sad when these kinds of things happen. I'm really pleased that the home did reveal or make it open, because I'm a firm believer that if it had gone directly to social development, I don't think we'd know as much as we know today.
In a statement, Loch Lomond Villa CEO Ashley King said existing safety protocols remain in place and additional measures have been implemented, including the presence of an on-site security company. Police say a dedicated phone line has been established for the families of affected residents. There is another round of school cancellations this morning as the storm cleanup continues. In Nova Scotia, all schools under the Tri-County banner are closed for the day. Schools in the Annapolis County are also closed due to weather and road conditions. There are also a number of back road closure plans and buses running on paved roads only. You can find a detailed list on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. You will be paying more for diesel in Nova Scotia this morning after the interrupter clause was invoked overnight. Diesel increased in the Halifax area by 6.7 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.74. The price of gas did not change. New Brunswick is bringing back elected members of the public to its 2 health authority boards. Until 3 years ago, both Horizon and Vitalité had both elected and appointed members. But that practice was ended by the province after the death of a patient in an ER waiting room. The change requires legislation, but the health minister says it's necessary.
Well, there is a crisis today. Our boards are very proactive in getting us through that, dealing with emergency departments, ALC patients, primary care. And I think that we can augment that by increasing transparency, by having elected people on those boards.
It is worth noting Horizon and Vitalité need to be consulted on the move, so it's unlikely elected members would be in place until the 2030 election cycle. A popular brand of baby biscuits are being recalled. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says Gerber brand arrowroot biscuits are being recalled due to the possible presence of pieces of soft plastic and paper. The cookies were sold across the country. The agency says the biscuits should not be consumed, distributed, or sold. They should be thrown out or returned to the store where they were purchased. Finally, the Artemis 2 mission to the moon will send 4 astronauts deeper into space than any humans have ever traveled. And the out-of-this-world journey has generated a lot of excitement, and Tim Hortons is celebrating the upcoming mission. You can too. Are you hungry for breakfast? After the launch date is confirmed, a few lucky Canadians will be able to get their hands on a limited edition of Moonbits 10-pack of Timbits. The catch, the boxes will only be available at participating Tim Hortons restaurants in London, Ontario. Do you know why London, Ontario? Any guesses?
No.
That's the hometown of Artemis 2 mission specialist Jeremy Hansen.
Oh, that's cool.
That's why.
So is it just the box, or they're actual Timbits that are Moonbit themed?
Moonbit. Made with real rock. No. It's just the box is my understanding of it.
Okay,
but,
fun.
I mean, you'll have to send us to London, Ontario to test them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
I love it. All right, this is for you again. A trip to Australia, but this one's for both of us, because it's a tiny train. Yes, let's go for a little trip. All aboard. Kids and their families were all smiles during the opening of Australia's biggest miniature railway. It's almost 3 kilometers long, and it's located on the grounds of a train hobby club. So members of the club were inspired after seeing a similar system in the U.S. So it took more than a decade to finish the project, but this I really want to put on the bucket list. Come on, man. It's many different little miniature trains.
Oh, that is super
cool. It's an actual locomotive.
That's wild. That's really cool.
Right?
Send me photos from there, because I'm not going to Australia. But
really?
Oh,
nope.
Why not?
The spiders. I refuse.
Oh, the spiders.
I only saw a spider in one public toilet on my last day. That was it. That was just one.
In the public toilet.
They do like their trains. We were in Blue Mountains.
Spiders do like their trains. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
We were in the Blue Mountains, just outside of Sydney, like about an hour, and we were on the steepest railroad train. It's really cool how it goes up and down. It takes you from the top of the mountain to the bottom.
Love that.
Super cool.
I love trains.
You can send me a video from it.
I will definitely do that.
All right, still ahead. We're going to get some tips on safe snow shoveling. Don't have to worry about any spiders there.
That's true.
It's true. And coming up, too, we have a look at the full forecast. Good morning to our viewers in Charlottetown. The sun is shining. The roads have been cleared. And we can hear the squeaking of Carl's shoes, our outdoor camera operator. He was outside, and we're going outside when we return.
Good morning, Graham and Ann. It is 8:13, 8:43 if you are in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And what a beautiful photo here. Nice, still, calm conditions. We're going to see some sun shining throughout the course of today. Of course, it is going to be a little bit cooler as well. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. As we take a look here at our current temperatures, we are seeing cooler temperatures up in northern parts of New Brunswick, specifically in Edmundston. A little bit cooler around the St. John area as well as we head throughout this morning. We're we're seeing a little bit of an increase in temperatures around Labrador City, but we do still have those wind chill values to take into consideration. So again, pretty chilly throughout most of New Brunswick for today. We're looking at temperatures feeling more along the low 20s. So make sure you take that into consideration. Again, cooler temperatures over in the Halifax and New Glasgow areas as well. As we head later into the day, parts of those wind chills will start to lift. So it will be a little bit warmer, especially with that sun coming through. But again, still bundle up because it is feeling like those minus mid-20s as we head throughout the morning here. In Labrador City, still feeling like minus 30 to start the day. So again, make sure you are bundling up. It's pretty much going to feel like that throughout the course of today. We aren't going to feel as much of an impact from the wind chill in the rest of Labrador and into Newfoundland, but we are still going to feel a little bit colder than what those numbers are saying. Now, we do still have one yellow alert left for parts of Labrador. As we take a look here, that winter storm is still in effect from Nain to Hopedale. And that's going to continue for the majority of today. So we are going to see an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow with northwesterly winds gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour. Taking a look here at the forecasted timeline, a few scattered flurries remaining for western parts of Nova Scotia, as well as over into Cape Breton. And we are going to continue to see some scattered flurries hanging around in Newfoundland and Labrador because of that system is, of course, still continuing for the next day or so. So as we take a look here, we are going to continue to see that cloud clear out as we head into Wednesday night. And then into Thursday, we should start to see some more sunshine coming into the region as well. So a little bit of those gusting winds to contend with for the majority of this afternoon into the early hours of this evening before things taper off. But time now to head over to Amanda for your look at international and national news.
Thanks, Bree. And harsh winter weather is taking its toll on the supply chain in Newfoundland and Labrador. Cancelled ferry crossings mean empty store shelves, among other problems. CTV's Garrett Berry has the details.
Some barren shelves at Urban Market 1919 in St. John's, and some of the products that are arriving far too late.
We've actually, since the start of January, have received over $2,000 of wasted foliage and stems. And that's a massive cost.
It's hard to keep the shelves full this month. There are today more than 200 commercial transport trucks trying to get goods onto the island, backed up at the ferry terminal in Nova Scotia. Storms and high winds have repeatedly canceled Marine Atlantic ferry crossings.
It's very unusual that we've seen such poor weather for such an extended period of time.
Marine Atlantic says it has the capacity to clear up that backlog quickly if the weather would start to cooperate.
CTV's Garrett Berry reporting in St. John's. Out west, parents in Alberta are outraged and searching for answers after 30 children fell ill at a hotel swimming pool.
People just start running out of the pool, and kids are puking in the hallway, and people inside are yelling, "Get out, get out."
Paramedics arrived to assess 30 children, mostly from a minor hockey team. 11 ended up in hospital, complaining of throat, back, and chest pain. The town discovered elevated levels of a chlorine-based substance during initial air testing. CTV News pulled public inspection records that show repeated violations for high chlorine levels in the pool. The hotel says it can't comment on the inspection reports during an ongoing investigation. Prime Minister Mark Carney had a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump this week, but it appears the two have different versions about how that went. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more.
I meant what I said in Davos.
Prime Minister Mark Carney stood by his speech during a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. The 30-minute conversation covered Arctic security, Venezuela, and Canada's agreement with China.
I explained to him what we're doing, 12 new deals on 4 continents in 6 months. He was impressed. And that what we intend to do going forward, as well as the opportunity to, of course, move forward on CUSMA.
Let's talk about the Prime Minister, or if you prefer, Governor of Canada.
12 hours earlier, the U.S. Treasury Secretary says he was on that call and characterized the conversation differently.
He spoke to Prime Minister Carney, who was very aggressively walking back some of the unfortunate remarks he made at Davos.
Asked specifically about that.
So you didn't walk back your comments?
No.
But there was no public readout of the conversation between Trump and Carney, something the Conservatives are criticizing. Michael Chong wrote on social media, "It is unacceptable that Canadians and journalists learned of this recent call from American media." Besson's comments come days after Trump threatened to impose 100% tariffs on Canada if the government signs a free trade agreement with China, something Carney says he's not pursuing. Political analysts believe the current strategy is to keep calm.
Trump is going to make noise. He's going to flash. He's going to swear. He's going to stamp his feet. Just take a breath, take a moment. Chances are the storm will pass, and it has.
The Prime Minister says he reiterated in his conversation with the President that Canada is responding to the change in U.S. trade policy by building new partnerships abroad, including with China. And Carney says Trump understood that. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Thank you, Mike. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we're going to head outside to get some proper shoveling tips from the folks at Zoomers. That's coming up next. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Always looking for a way.
All right, we're out back the station. I'm joined by Laura Lundquist from Boomers Physiotherapy. We're making a couple extra bucks. We're shoveling driveways today, so let us know if you want yours done. We're doing it safely, though, and that begins with, oh my gosh, where do we even begin, Laura?
Well, first, maybe with your shovel choice.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, the height of your shovel is important when we think about trying to protect our back, which is a common area that as a physio, I see people run into trouble. So you really want to have a shovel that is about chest height, ideally. So that one that you've got there, not bad, but it might be a little high. So I would even maybe take this one for you.
Yeah, and look at how, also like on the, if you can see the blade of the shovel, this is a whopper. That's going to be holding a lot of snow. That's a big load for the back.
It sure is.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Okay,
So
we'll get rid of this one.
Yeah, in fact, did you know when you're shoveling, you're like, if we've got light snow like we had in this last storm, it's often maybe 5 to 7 pounds per shovelful.
Yeah.
But when it's wetter snow, heavier snow, it can be 25 to 30 pounds. In 20 minutes of shoveling, you can shove a literal ton of snow.
Holy, a ton of snow. That's wild. Okay.
So we got to do it right.
Okay, so you said start with a warm-up, eh? What does that mean?
Yeah, so, I mean, it could be walking around your property, checking out, seeing what the storm did, but otherwise, really trying to look for areas maybe of lighter snow. So maybe like your walkway or whatever.
Yeah, this is
and then we
light.
want to be pushing that snow forward this way, as opposed to doing the old sort of bend and lift,
Yeah, okay,
right?
so I've got, let's see, I've got my shovel full, as you say. What the heck happens now?
So now you want to have your knees bent. You want to take your one hand down lower and then supporting the shovel like this. And we're going to use our legs to lift it and just toss it like that.
Oh, you know what? That I've never done. Like I thought I was using my legs properly, but I actually was not.
Yeah,
I
so you
obviously
just
was using
want
my
to
back. So
take a
shovel
little
forward
and then stand up. You got
Perfect.
it. Now, of course, that gets harder when the pile gets higher, and sometimes you got to move along and, you know, get creative with how you're placing it.
Yeah.
But ideally, you want to do that. Trying to have light grip so that you're not getting really, really tight on your hands. Because that you can actually get tennis elbow or golfer's elbow from shoveling.
You see that, don't you?
Yeah.
What else do you see? Like you're busy right now with people who've shoveled a little too hard.
Yeah, so back injuries for sure. Sometimes shoulder injuries, because if we're getting into lifting up really high like this and awkwardly, so sometimes it's worth, you know, you'll see me even, I'll take a shovel like this, and if I can't get it up over that pile, then you'll see me walk it around.
Yeah, okay, that's the question. So like, I'm going to do the wrong way right now. I'm just going to shovel, and then I'm just going to, woo!
Yes, exactly. So that's like,
how,
really...
but like, sometimes, like in my case, I have a narrow driveway and I share it with the neighbor. I can't just flick it like that or go on the neighbor's side, and I don't want to be a jerk.
Right.
So what do you do to put snow off to the side? Like, how do you do that properly?
So if you need to get it off to the side, so then ideally you're going to come and bring it this way.
Yeah.
And then bring it up that way.
Okay,
right?
so let's demonstrate. So we're going this way, and then up
Yeah, so turn your body and then
turn
up
my
and
body
over.
and then again with the legs. Okay,
got
perfect. All right, let's just try, now that we've graduated from the light snow, let's try some of this pre-plowed hard snow, like the end of the dry. This is the plow went by and now we got to shovel again business.
That's it.
Okay, so we do this with the legs
that's it,
and then
up and over.
Oh, up and over.
Yeah.
Show me that.
So here, right, I'm down, come up, and then I might do a little...
With the legs,
right?
though.
So,
with
yeah, exactly.
the legs.
So you can get a little bit of power going.
Legs. Oh, yeah. Boy, you're going to have quads and calves of steel.
Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
And in fact, if you've been doing this well, or if you overworked a little bit and you wake up the next day and your muscles are really sore, right? It can be really tempting to sit on the couch and have some R&R after that hard shoveling. That will actually cause you to feel more stiff and more sore. So getting out for a little walk, doing a little bit of light movement, a little bit of yoga, a little bit of stretching, anything to kind of move the blood through your body. It's really helpful to get rid of those aches and pains the day after. Or, of course, see a physio.
Well, this is the thing. Like, if you have overdone it or you want a massage, you know, to handle things professionally, how do people find you, Laura?
Yeah, so you can find us online at zoomershealth.ca. We've got a clinic in Halifax and a clinic called Spring Physiotherapy over in Cool Harbour.
Okay, well, if we get this whole hill done, CTV's going to give you $20.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go. All right, we got to move over to Brienne right now. How much more snow are we getting, Brienne?
Well, Crystal, luckily not a lot in the Maritimes. So it's going to be mostly a sunny day today, especially throughout New Brunswick. We are going to see a little bit of increasing cloud cover into Thursday. We're going to see temperatures dip overnight with a chance of flurries. Into Friday morning, we could continue to see those flurries impacting into New Brunswick on Friday, but some sun shining as well. Over in Nova Scotia, we're going to see a few scattered flurries hanging around in western parts of Nova Scotia as well as Cape Breton. And we are going to see temperatures hovering around that -9 mark with that sun shining through. Sunny skies heading our way for Thursday before some cloud comes in on Friday. Over on Prince Edward Island, it is a sunny start to the day and going to continue to be sunny throughout the majority of Wednesday. A little bit of more increasing cloud on Thursday before some flurries enter on Friday. Welcome. It is 8:31, 9:01. If you are in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. Crystal, how was your shoveling experience?
Sorry, I'm a little late putting my microphone on. I had to finish that hill. I really want that $20.
Yeah, that's super fair. You were doing a great job. You were fantastic.
Thank you so much. I got to put my shoes on. Oh my
I know. This is the magic of TV. We've got to run around
real life
from set to set because Crystal had what we call the handheld mic, and then we have these little tiny ones. But let me tell you, it is work to put them on sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm here now, ready to go. Really learned a lot. I thought I was shoveling correctly.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how when you get a professional involved, it really is all legs.
Yes.
Like if you feel it in your back at all, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. That's why you never skip leg day.
Exactly. Well, you can get a free leg day with shoveling.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. Kill two birds with one stone, or as
my
your daughter says, feed two birds with one scone.
Correct.
Is that what she says?
Yes.
That's adorable.
No birds are harmed
no birds are harmed in that metaphor.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, lots of snow out there, still to shovel. If anybody's in the market to actually shovel driveways and make money, what are we looking at today?
I mean, yeah, we did. I did get to speak with a couple of boys who were shoveling to make money to
for
save
a
up for a
car.
That's a lot of snow for some dough.
Yes, I mean they are going to have to maybe go to Newfoundland and Labrador for additional snow removal at this point, because we are going to mostly see beautiful sunny skies, as we can see here as we start our day, and that's pretty much going to be the name of the game. There might be a few scattered flurries, but not enough to probably earn your weight in shoveling for today. So different entrepreneurial means for today. As we take a look here at our current temperatures, minus 27 up in Edmonton, a little bit cooler over in St. John as well, looking at minus 21. Again, the wind chill factors will be impacting what those temperatures are feeling like. So make sure you're checking those as you head out and about for today, because it's going to feel a little bit cooler than what those numbers are saying. Right now, feeling like minus 20 in Halifax, minus 23 in New Glasgow and Moncton, minus 24 in Charlottetown. And as we head over into Newfoundland and Labrador, feeling more along the lines of minus 30 in Labrador City. So again, bundle up if you do have to get out and about. And for this morning, we only have one yellow alert left. So we do have that winter storm still impacting Nain to Hopedale. We are going to continue to see that throughout the course of this morning, hanging around a little bit more in the Nain area as we head into the afternoon. So looking at an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snowfall with northwesterly winds gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour. So it's going to be a blustery one out there. Of course, I'll have a full look at that final forecast coming up in just a little bit. For now, let's head over to Amanda for your last look at local news headlines.
Thank you, Brianne. Later this morning, the Bank of Canada is expected to make an interest rate announcement and release updated economic forecasts. The central bank's policy interest rate is set at 2.25%. The rate announcement comes as the Canadian economy faces an uncertain future, with the scheduled review of the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement coming up later this year. For more on this, we bring in CTV's Scott Hurst. Scott, what are economists expecting to hear with today's rate announcement?
Good morning, Amanda. This is the first interest rate announcement from the Bank of Canada for 2026. Now, of course, we know these announcements can often be very technical, but there is a very real-world impact on our bottom line, the money we bring in and the money we have to spend. Now, the last policy announcement came in December, where the bank held its rate steady at 2.25%, and economists are widely expecting the same this time around in this first announcement of the year. Likely no change again to keep it at 2.25%. Prior to December, there were 2 consecutive quarter-point cuts in the second half of 2025. Now, no change would keep borrowing costs the same for everyday Canadians like you and me and businesses. We have heard from the Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem saying bank officials believe inflation is likely to hold around its 2% target for the coming year. It did close out the year with a surprise uptick, the consumer price index rising to 2.4% in December. But if the outlook changes from the Bank of Canada, it says, Amanda, it will be ready to respond.
Okay, and this latest decision, too, coming days after Donald Trump's latest threats of tariffs on Canada and ahead of CUSMA renegotiations expected later this year. So could trade relations with the U.S. play a factor in rate decisions we see from the central bank?
Affordability is, of course, top of mind for so many of us. We also saw that from the Carney Liberals making an affordability announcement, trying to ease the pressure in the grocery aisle for so many Canadians. And yes, we have seen Donald Trump revert back to his, jabs at Canada, taking aim at our country, threatening more tariffs and threatening to pull out of the North American Free Trade Pact, CUSMA, as negotiations get underway. We've seen how much harm has already been done to several Canadian industries, and just the threat of tariffs from the Trump administration do cause a whole lot of uncertainty in the economy, and that is never good for investors. But the Bank of Canada has indicated Canada's economy has largely stayed resilient through U.S. tariffs. So from the central bank's perspective, it is closely watching all these developments, but also keeping a close eye on job numbers, consumer spending, business investment, and many other economic markers. So it'll be closely watching what we get from the Trump administration and what we hear from the Trump administration as it does continue to make its interest rate announcements throughout the year. Amanda, the next rate announcement is coming in mid-March.
Okay, good to know. And today's announcement coming later this morning. Scott, thank you so much for the update this morning.
Thanks, Amanda.
CTV's Scott Hurst reporting live from our national newsroom in Toronto. We do have another round of school cancellations this morning as the storm cleanup continues. In Nova Scotia, all schools under the Tri-County banner are closed for the day. Schools in the Annapolis County also closed due to weather and road conditions. There are also a number of back road closure plans and buses running on paved roads only. The detailed list is on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. Police in St. John are investigating offenses of a sexual nature with at least a dozen victims between their 70s and 90s at a local nursing home. A memo from Loch Lomond Villa was sent to the families of residents on Friday, saying the administration had become aware of a serious situation at the village that had become a police investigation. Police say they've identified a suspect, but so far no charges have been announced. Police add the suspect is not a resident nor a staff member. The ongoing battle over bike lanes is heating up at Halifax City Council again. In an evening news release, Mayor Andy Fillmore says the latest cost estimate for HRM's cycling network has ballooned to $85 million from the original $25 million. Fillmore says he can't support the current plan because of the price tag, especially in economically challenging times. He's urging the city to examine lower cost alternatives as other cities have done. In the past, some councillors have argued for forging ahead with the plan, noting a sizable number of routes are already complete, and encouraging active transportation has been a council priority since 2014. Proponents have also suggested it will help traffic by cutting the number of cars on the road. Finally, you will be paying more this morning if you're filling up your vehicle with diesel in Nova Scotia. This comes after the interrupter clause was invoked overnight. Here's what you'll pay now. Diesel increased by 6.7 cents a litre. The minimum price now $1.74 for Nova Scotia's Zone 1. That is the Halifax area. The price of gas did not change. Worth noting. And of course, on Friday, I will have a roundup of the latest gas prices.
All right, thanks so much, Amanda.
You're welcome.
I want to remind everybody that February is Black Heritage Month in Nova Scotia, and the official kickoff has taken place.
We will now proceed to the official unveiling of the African Heritage Month 2026 poster. I would like to invite...
That's CTV's Vanessa Wright. She emceed the official launch at the Black Cultural Centre for Nova Scotia in Cherry Brook. Community leaders, government officials, and many others were on hand for the unveiling of this year's official poster. And the theme this year, Strength in Unity, moving forward with purpose, prosperity, power, and progress. Now, special events and workshops are scheduled throughout the month of February. For a full list, check out the Black Cultural Centre's website.
Look at that poster.
It's awesome.
I absolutely love it. I also love the alliteration that went along with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm always a sucker for an alliteration.
Big fan of alliteration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so what else is happening in our community? We have lots going on as always. So we'll start over in New Brunswick. And hey, I got it right this time. No deco.
No template?
No template this time. An intimate small venue festival featuring numerous acts and shows in different venues around the town of St. Andrews, New Brunswick. The festival features a number of award-winning regional, national, and internationally touring artists. So for all those details, for this coming weekend, you can visit winterwarmerfestival.ca. Over on Prince Edward Island, Winterdine is still going on in Charlottetown. So again, featuring lunch and dinner menus from more than 20 of Charlottetown's finest restaurants. The festival is taking place over 3 weeks. You have until February 8th to enjoy some delicious delectables. You can visit their website for all the restaurants participating in that one. And of course, from January 30th to February 1st, wander around downtown Dartmouth to take in the cool Festival of Ice, which we will have a preview on tomorrow's show.
Yeah, can't wait.
So you definitely want to tune in tomorrow. But for all the details of the Ice Festival in downtown Dartmouth, you can visit the website listed there. And of course, if you have an upcoming event, well, we want to hear about it. So send us all of those details to Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca, and we'll do our best to get it in the show. But for now, don't go anywhere. We still got more coming up. Good morning, Fredericton. 8:45, 9:15 if you're in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. And yes, you can see those roads have been cleared off. That sun is shining. So that's pretty much going to be the name of the game across the Maritimes for today. So we are seeing increasing sunshine after that system has been impacting us over the past couple of days. So nice to see that sun shining once again. However, we are seeing some cooler conditions and some wind chill factors as we head throughout our day today. Specifically looking at our wind chill factors for this hour, we are continuing to see those mid -20 numbers across most of New Brunswick and a little bit cooler conditions into New Glasgow, Prince Edward Island, as well as the Halifax area. So do bundle up if you are heading out and about today. However, as that sun increases, that wind chill factor is going to drop down, as well as that once that wind tapers down in our region. But it is still going to be a little bit colder than what those numbers are saying. So just make sure you are bundled up if you are staying outside for an extended period of time. Over in Labrador, of course, a little bit cooler up in Labrador City. But for the rest of Newfoundland and Labrador, we're not seeing so much impacts from that wind chill. Again, it's still going to be a little bit colder. We are still having that blustering snow coming through, so it is going to impact how it feels as you head out and about throughout the course of your day. One last yellow alert to talk about for today. It is a winter storm from Nain to Hopedale in Labrador. So that's going to continue throughout the course of this morning. Going to impact into a little bit into the afternoon for the Nain area. So just make sure you take that into consideration. If you do have to head out and about today, an additional 5 to 15 centimeters of snow should be entering into the region with those northwesterly winds blowing up to 60 kilometers per hour. Now taking a look here, again, like I said, some sunnier skies coming through. We will see a little bit of flurry action in western parts of Nova Scotia as well as over into Cape Breton area. But for the most part, that system is staying over in Newfoundland and Labrador. We are going to see increasing sun and then some clear skies as we head into Thursday. Again, we should see some more sunshine coming through on Thursday as well. So again, it is a pretty good time to be around here. We are going to see an increase of gusting winds though as we head throughout the afternoon before those start to taper down into the early hours of Thursday morning. So we are going to continue to see a little bit of gusting winds, but not going to impact us too much. So what are we looking at for today? Like I said, sunny skies pretty much across New Brunswick. So a nice reprieve from that snow that we've been seeing over the past couple days. Those sunny skies continuing on to Prince Edward Island. A few flurries hanging around for Cape Breton. But again, that sun shining through eastern parts of Nova Scotia. A few flurries hanging around that Bay of Fundy coastline. And then, of course, yes, some snow continuing for Newfoundland and Labrador. Crystal?
So much. It's 8:48 now, and to celebrate Black History Month, Pier 21 is highlighting celebrations and revelations by bringing music, heritage, identity, and storytelling together on February 6th. Nova Scotian Jamaican artist Jamila joins Toronto's Julian Taylor on stage, but first she joins us here to talk about the event along with Rebecca Mackenzie-Hopkins, Public Programs and Community Engagement Manager at the museum. Welcome to you both this morning. Thanks for coming in.
Hey.
It is our pleasure. Okay, Jamila, I want to start with you because there's so much to talk about. February 6th is a big day. Tell our audience why.
Oh, February 6th is such a big day. Well, let's start off by it's Bob Marley's birthday. February is Reggae Month as well as Black History Month. And on February 6th of 2024, I got my Juno nomination.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a blessed day. And yes, so special that you are a proud Jamaican Canadian. You've been living in Nova Scotia for several years now, but that's a big day. This Bob Marley's birthday. I mean, it all comes together for you on February 6th.
Totally. I consider it a lucky day. And I mean, I'm going through some treatment right now, health-wise. You guys will hear about it if you come to the show. But my treatments end next week, Wednesday. And so for me, this is a big old celebration.
Wow, what a celebration. Okay, so Rebecca, let's bring you in. This is just a kickoff of a wonderful, I guess, suite of events happening with the museum.
Yeah, correct. So this Black History Month, we decided to make sure that we were engaging with a whole bunch of different audiences. So the show is definitely engaging with our culturally tuned in people who love amazing music. And we're super excited to have both Julian and Jamila for that show. It's really, really meaningful to have both of them. And I think it's going to be such an amazing vibe. And then later in the month, we're doing a whole bunch of films, NFB films, that are going to be screened throughout the day between screenings of our normal film in Canada. And then we are actually bringing Black History Month into March because we think that February is too short. I think everyone thinks that. So during March break, we're also going to do a Black History Day and really make sure that we bring in even more of our amazing presenters and community partners on that.
Okay, fantastic. We have just a little over a minute left, so I'm going to turn my attention back to you, Jamila. To know, oh gosh, we've been sitting together chatting while just Bria doesn't weather already, like we've been caught up. We've been, basically, we planned to come over to each other's house for dinner. But so to get to to know, you're very warm, and obviously that's going to come through. What do you have planned for the show to kind of bring the audience in and make it special for them on February 6th?
Well, we've been rehearsing with the band. I haven't done a show with the band since Harvest Festival in September of last year. And so I'm planning to just this is going to be a celebration for me. We have live performances. We're going to be inviting the audience to dance. We're going to be throwing some little knowledge nuggets in there. And if possible, we're going to do a collaboration with Julian as well.
Wow. Here's a video of you. You were telling me this is actually shot in Jamaica. You must really miss home when the weather's like this.
Absolutely, especially now I want to go home. I'm feeling a lot of nostalgia. Jamaica was just recently hit with a really terrible hurricane, and I fear that the home that I left is not the home that I will return to, and so that's a big thing that I'm looking forward to going. So every note that I sing on February 6th is going to be in celebration of my home as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good luck on the 6th. Good luck with everything. It's a big week next week for you. And Rebecca, where can people get information about the event and get tickets?
Head over to pier21.ca/events to find out more. And you can also, if you are a community group and you are looking for comped tickets, please contact public programs at pier21.ca. We have a select number of tickets that can go to community groups, so you wouldn't have to pay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where you can find out more, and we're really, really looking forward to the show. I want to thank the TD Ready Commitment for their sponsorship of the show.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming in this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we put all the information about the show on our website so you can get your tickets. But there's Jamila in Jamaica. We will be right back after this.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
We're just having to say, Jamila's not only talented, she smells so good.
Yeah. You can't smell her through the TV, but if you could.
I
hugged her, and now I smell amazing.
I
love this for
it's
me.
true.
I want to ask what she's using for her
well,
scent.
check before she leaves.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a great show next Friday. Pier 21, I would like to go.
Amazing.
Yes.
What a talent. All right, so we're telling you the answers to the Move Morning Chat this morning. So we were asking about the last time, you were really snowed in. So Nettie, no surprise, White Juan. At that time, I lived in a mobile home in Sackville. A backhoe had to dig a path to get me out. No power for 3 weeks. I had to continue to work and had cold showers at a relative's.
Wow.
Wow, Nettie. And that was in Lower Sackville. Donna from Chance Harbor says February 4th, 2024, so not that long ago, we had snow for days. We were storm stayed for 5 days total. I was prepared, gas for the generator, extra wood, extra food, and made sure the vehicle was filled with gas. But we didn't lose our power, so we were all good.
Wow, thank heaven.
And she has a photo.
Wow. Well, that looks, okay, first of all, that's a lot of snow, but so cozy.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being.
No.
No.
And that's my daughter's birthday, February 4th, so we could really, have some fun on that day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Party at home.
I want to tell you, okay, this is the last time I was snowed in, but this is the most memorable time in my life. I'll share really quick. I was a little kid, and there was a giant blizzard, and I just remember my parents saying, kids, we have to go to the neighbor's house because we had no power, and it was just like complete whiteout conditions, blowing. My dad went out to the shed and got a rope, and a brother and a sister, he tied us all together, and we walked to the neighbor's house, and we stayed there for several days. Crazy, right? I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Wild.
And you didn't get lost.
We did not get lost because we were tied up. Anyway, that's all the time we have. It's 8:57, but we really hope you can join us for the Thursday edition of the show tomorrow.
Till then, enjoy your Wednesday.